Hello, today we're working on Chapter 2, Lesson 3, Solving Equations. So if you can solve equations, you can use known information to find unknown information. To solve an equation, you want to get the variable. The variable's the letter, the unknown, alone on one side of the equation. You can use inverse operations, operations that undo each other to get the variable alone. So for example, if you were adding, the inverse operation would be subtracting, or if you're multiplying, the inverse operation is dividing. So property of inequality. The addition property of inequality says if you add the same value to each side of the equation, the two sides remain equal. So some examples of that for arithmetic would be if you have 20 divided by 2 equals 10, then, or so, 20 divided by 2 plus 3 equals 10 plus 3. In algebra, if A equals B, then A plus C equals B plus C. The subtraction property of inequality says if you subtract the same value from each side of the equation, the two sides remain equal. So therefore, if we were to put numbers to that, 12 divided by 2 equals 6. So 12 divided by 2 minus 4 equals 6 minus 4. A equals B. A minus C equals B minus C. Moving on to multiplication property of inequality. If you multiply each side of an equation by the same number, the two sides remain equal. So looking at an example, if we have 12 divided by 2 equals 6, so 12 divided by 2 times 2 is going to equal 6 times 2. Or in algebra form, A equals B. A times C equals B times C. The division property of inequality. If you divide each side of an equation by the same number, the two sides remain equal. So you can probably guess, if we look at this, we have 3 times 2 equals 6. So 3 times 2 divided by 2 is going to equal 6 divided by 2. For algebra, A equals B, and C does not equal 0. Then A over C equals B over C. So let's look by using an example here at these. Solve by adding. So we have x minus 34 equals negative 46. So the first thing we want to do is use the addition property of equality. Add 34 to each side. So we have x minus 34 plus 34 equals negative 46 plus 34, right? Not changing the value, we're doing the same thing If you do it to one side, you have to do it to the other. These two cross out, so that's going to equal 0. So x minus 0 is just x. And then negative 46 plus 34. So this is thinking of this on a number line, right? 46 is a negative. But then we're adding 34 to it. But 46 is a bigger number, so it's going to equal a negative. So it's the same thing as 46 minus 34, 12. So it's going to be a negative 12. X equals negative 12. So now we need to check our work. Is negative 12 minus 34 equal to negative 46? So if we have negative 12 minus 34, that's like saying plus a negative. So we're adding those together. That's going to equal negative 46 equals negative 46. Yes, that is correct. Let's try this one. So once again, we are adding. I'm going to leave it down below here. Whatever I did to this side, I do to that side. So this is going to equal 0. So we're left with just x equals 4 plus 4 is 8, 6 plus 0 is 6, 1 plus nothing is 168. X equals 168. Okay. Solve an equation by subtracting. Your friend's mountain bike costs $245 more than his skateboard. His mountain bike costs $290. How much did your friend's skateboard cost? So the cost of the bike I just read was $290. And then we're saying that the cost of the bike is $245 more than the cost of the skateboard. And the cost of the skateboard we don't know. So whatever this 245 is, it's 245 more than the skateboard. And that equals the cost of the bike. So now we have our equation. 290 equals 245 plus s. Well, we want to get the variable by itself. So we're going to do the opposite. So solve the equation by subtracting. So if I subtract 245 from this side, I'm going to have to do the same thing to this side. So therefore, the S, the skateboard, cost $45. We can double check ourselves. 45 plus 245, yes, it does equal 290. Here's one for you to try. Press pause and see if you can get the correct answer. You should have got $7.95. The paperback edition plus 19 equals $26.95. So now solving equations by multiplying. We have t divided by negative 45 equals negative 5. So we notice that t is being divided. The opposite of division is multiplication. So we want to multiply this side by negative 45. Whatever we do to this side, we have to do to this side. If we multiply negative 45 times t over 45, these cross out and they equal just 1. 1t is the same thing as saying just t. And then negative 5 times negative 45. Negative times a negative equals a positive. 5 times 45 equals 225. So therefore our answer is a positive 225. Try the next one on your own and check to see if you got it correct. You should have got that W equals a negative 390. Now let's look at solve by dividing. We have 4p equals 22.68. So right now 4 is being multiplied by p. We want p, the variable, to be by itself, so we need to do the opposite. The opposite of multiplying is dividing. So we're going to divide this by 4. Let's cross out an equal 1. If we do it to that side, we have to do it to this side. So if we divide this side, then we are going to get 5.67. You can see if you want to. Decimal, break down 6. There we go. Okay, try the next 3 on your own. Check back to see if you got them correct. You should have got x equals negative 7.2, y equals 9, and x equals 3. Your homework tonight are pages 71 and 72, numbers 9 through 27 odd.